Hi friends, Krista here. Thanks for stopping by Books and Jams. I am sitting out at a park and am listening to a book, but I'll tell you about that in a second. I didn't have a chance to finish my August Netgalley vlog. I was hoping to do that every month, but August got away from me and I didn't do one. So we're going to combine August and September in this video. So in August, I did read one book off of my Netgalley, possibly two actually. I think I read two, but I didn't write any reviews. So here's my August list. And then for September, the list is massive. The list of some books that were published in September that I have out on Netgalley are quite a few. So I'm listening to one of them right now, and I have two others that I have already read. So the goal is to finish this book, write all of the reviews, see how long that goes all together, and then get this vlog out pretty early in September, and it will just be a combo August and September Netgalley vlog. I need to double check what my percentage is at for now and see if I can get that increased. But for now, I'm just starting my walk, so I need to keep moving. And I am listening to Nothing Else But Miracles by Kate Elbis, and I'm just about 50% in, so I figured this would be a good time to kind of pause and talk about it. This is a middle grade book by the same author who wrote A Place to Hang the Moon, which is fantastic middle grade. This one also takes place during World War II, but it's in New York City on the Lower East Side, I believe. And we follow three siblings whose dad has gone off to fight. The mom had died off page, like a couple years before, and the dad has just been drafted to fight in World War II. He was able to get out of it the first time he was drafted, but the war continued on and he was sent another letter. And the oldest sibling is 17, so he's kind of taking care of the younger two who are 12 and 8, and we're getting from the perspective of the 12-year-old. And she is precocious, and they're siblings, they're arguing, and typical siblings. They had a wonderful landlord and a lot of really wonderful neighbors who kind of have been helping out here and there. One owns a restaurant that they go to eat every Thursday. One is constantly baking and providing them with some extra food here and there. But their previous landlord was elderly and he passed away. And now they have a new landlord who isn't very kind at all. And so they're a little scared about what is going to happen to them. And that's where I'm at right now. So we're getting glimpses of school, of home life. Oh, they found a stray cat, and interactions with this awful landlord. I am really enjoying it very much. I love a sibling story. I think this is going to be another really good one by her. So I'm very glad to be reading it right now. Today is September 1st. And so I do want to read some series books. So I'm hoping to finish this one rather quickly, either today or tomorrow, so that I can move on into some series. I think I just needed a break from some mysteries because some of the last books I read in August were mysteries, and I needed to change gears a little bit. So I'm going to head back out on my walk, and I will touch base with you again when I finish this book, and we'll get to writing some reviews and taking a look at my rating on Netgalley, my feedback ratio, and we'll see what I can do about increasing that. So welcome. Here we are. Let's get her done. All right. It is morning nap time at work today, and I just spent a few minutes finishing up Nothing Else But Miracles. This is the middle grade Netgalley book that I started off September reading, and it was lovely. She wrote A Place to Hang the Moon, which I also really liked. This one was fantastic. I think I liked A Place to Hang the Moon a little bit better, but the ending scene chapter actually, because there was two separate scenes that were just so lovely. Both brought me to tears. Both just gave me all the feels. The rest of the book I thought was enjoyable, but not as meaningful to me. I thought the main character was a little precocious and fun, which is great for middle grade. I could see middle grade kids really loving how this family of siblings figures out how to survive while their dad is off at war and their mean new landlord is threatening to call social services, basically. So I think that kids would really love to read this. I also really loved it. I'm giving it 4 stars. I thought it was fantastic. and now I just opened up Netgalley. My percentage at the moment is 38%. I would like to try right now to do 3 reviews. So I'm going to do Nothing Else But Miracles. And the 2 other September books that I've already read are The Myth Makers. That's the graphic nonfiction about J.R.R. Tolkien and C.S. Lewis that I read. Was it this year or last year? I don't know. I've read it already. And The Matchmaker's Gift by Linda Cohen Loigman. Those are the 3 that I'm going to write right now. And then we will check back in. I'll tell you what I wrote and how my percentage goes up. Let's see. Okay, I need to quickly go through. I just wrote all 3 of those reviews, and I'm going to share with you what I wrote and then check my update of my Netgalley ratio, and then I need to go get Little Nugget up from her nap so that we can go to story time today. So for Nothing Else But Miracles, I said, what a beautiful story. I love a middle grade that focuses on a sibling group, and Nothing Else But Miracles did not disappoint. We read from the perspective of Dory, the middle child who is in love with the Statue of Liberty, who loves the Statue of Liberty. She's not in love with it. They live in Manhattan on the Lower East Side and have a wonderful community who come together to help these kids when their dad is called to go fight in World War II. Things get a bit hard when their current landlord dies and a mean new landlord arrives and threatens to call social services. I loved seeing these siblings figure out ways to take care of themselves and each other and how they grow because of it. Throw in a reclusive neighbor, a stray cat, and abandoned hotel to the mix for a really fun story. The ending scenes brought me to tears, and I just found this book so huggable. Would highly recommend. So I have put in my link to Goodreads. I copied that over, and I am going to submit that. I'm not interested in connecting with the author, but I would purchase this and recommend it. So there's that one done. Sweet. Then for Myth Makers, this one's a little bit shorter, but I just said, I really enjoy John Hendrick's graphic nonfiction books. I have loved the work of both C.S. Lewis and J.R.R. Tolkien, and I really appreciated this deep dive into their friendship, their writing styles, and their lives. It was part biography, part exposition of the history of myth, legend, and fantasy, and I really appreciated the Lion and the Wizard narrators bringing us all the way through the book. I love the graphic style and even enjoyed the side tangents. I knew a bit about the relationship between Tolkien and Lewis, but definitely learned a lot more with this incredible book. Fantastic. So let's go ahead and submit this one as well. Not interested in reaching out, but would buy it and recommend it. Submit. 2 down. All right, last one is for The Matchmaker's Gift by Linda Cohen Loigman, which I read in 2024. So this was the farthest one past that I have read, and I did need to review some summaries and just kind of refresh my brain about this book. I did give it 4 stars, and I do remember the story especially as I was refreshing my brain by looking at the summaries. I said this book was a delight. I really enjoyed that it was a mashup of romance, historical, and magical realism. The dual timeline follows Sarah in 1910 and her granddaughter Abby in the 1990s. Sarah has a gift for matchmaking but has to do it in secret because in her Jewish community, only men are matchmakers. I loved seeing how that impacted her and how she continued to follow her calling. The magical way she was able to identify soulmates was pretty cool. Divorce lawyer Abby was left Sarah's journals after her passing and learns all about her grandmother and the love matches that she made. She has the same gift, wasn't quite sure what it was. Both timelines were very engaging to read and drew me right into the story. I loved learning more about the Jewish community and culture in the past timeline especially, and I love the bond between the grandmother and granddaughter and how Abby began to see her life differently the more she learned about her grandmother. Fantastic read, and I look forward to more from Linda Cohen Loigman. 4 stars. Submit. It's another one that I would recommend. I don't remember like any content warnings or anything like that for that one. I just remember that I really liked it. So submit. I wonder if my score went up that quickly. That would be amazing. Let's go ahead and check. My ratio is now 39. 1 measly little percent, but it went up. I was hoping it would go to 40, but I have a few more reviews to write. I've now caught up with all of the ones I have read already in September, and we're going to take a look at August reviews. I know that I just read Errands and Espionage last month, so I can write that one, and I think there were 2 others for August as well. So I will do that hopefully this afternoon because I would like to get this vlog done early this month. Since I missed August, we'll do a little combo deal. but I need to go get the little nugget up so that we can get on the road and go to story time. I'll talk to you later. Okay, we are back to nap time. And so I just want to carry on with writing some more reviews. Before I jump into telling you my reviews for the 3 August books that I'm going to do, I wanted to pop in here some clips from when I did talk about Errands and Espionage, because that's the one Netgalley book that I did read in the month of August. I need to double check if there were any others, but here's my thoughts as I was reading Errands and Espionage. Oh, hello, hello. I am out on a walk right now listening to Errands and Espionage, and I just made it to 52%, so I thought I would pause for a second and just tell you my thoughts at this point. I'm thinking like this is going to be a 3-star read. We're following our main character, Gabby, who happens to be a lookalike for a CIA agent who was killed when she was undercover. So they put her in as the new the new undercover agent. She has little to no training. It's almost like a comedy of errors in a similar vein to Finley Donovan, but I think Finley Donovan was funnier. At least the first book. This one has had some humorous moments, but it feels a little cheesy to me. It has a lot of language that I'm not loving, and it's starting to feel a bit slow, like I'm ready for the next thing to happen. It's just constantly this, because she's a mom, 2 kids, one of her kids has allergies, so she's constantly pulled back and forth between her kids and this new job and feeling very underprepared, which she is. Yeah, it's cute, but I probably could DNF it. If it wasn't a Netgalley book, I might DNF it, but I'm just going to continue because it's really like a palate cleanser. It's lighthearted. I don't have to think too much. It's a nice book for when I'm walking or driving. So I'm going to continue, but it's not a new favorite or anything like that for sure. We'll see. I mean, I'm only halfway through, so it could turn around with some good plot twists or something. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Okay, and now my review for it. I didn't hop back on. I never filmed a clip of the ending of it. So I will tell you basically what I thought about it now. And we'll let you know that this starts out, I thought this book started out feeling very much like Finley Donovan, comedy of errors. A divorced single mom gets roped into some spy drama and the Russian mafia is involved. Definitely reads like a comedy of errors and was quite ridiculous at times. I did laugh out loud a few times and had a fun time while reading it, but ultimately I didn't care much for the main character. She was self-deprecating to the point of annoying at times, but she did show some growth by the end, which was nice. I didn't believe the romance at all. Where did it come from and where was the chemistry? Because it wasn't on the page. I didn't see it at all. Overall, this one was just okay for me. If it's a series, I will not be continuing. So I gave that one 3 stars, and I did write my review on Goodreads. I posted that on Goodreads, so I'm going to go ahead and submit that one. Not interested, not going to purchase it, and not going to recommend it, really. Well, you know what? I can still recommend it because it was fine. It just wasn't for me. And then we're going to move right on to the next one that I did was the third in a series, Mrs. Porter Calling. So I guess it's perfect for series September. Mrs. Porter Calling is by A.J. Pierce and is the 3rd book in the Emmy Lake Chronicles. I do believe that this review will have some spoilers. So if you have not yet read Dear Mrs. Bird or the second book, Yours Cheerfully, skip this one. I will put a little spoiler tag so that you can see it and just kind of skip ahead until you don't see that, because I don't want you to be spoiled if you're planning on reading this historical fiction series. But my review for this one says, I really enjoyed this 3rd installment of the Emmy Lake Chronicles. Once again, my favorite parts are the community, almost found family at the magazine. There are quite some characters in there. In this one, Emmy is in charge of the Yours Cheerfully article, but the magazine faces some struggles when a new young socialite takes over as the publisher and has her own ideas of what the magazine should be. Stakes are raised, and the team must come together to save the magazine that they love. I really enjoy having a villain I love to hate, as long as there are other characters that I love. This book had both. It's not 5 stars because it did feel a bit drawn out at times, but it was overall enjoyable. So I do love this series very much, and I'm very excited because the 4th book either already just came out or is coming out very soon. So that's exciting. All right, gonna submit that review. I guess there wasn't like major spoilers, but if you're going to start at the beginning, you don't want to know that stuff. I am not interested in connecting with the author, but I would buy this and I would recommend it. One more down. And the third one I've already written as well is for The Lost Library, which is a middle grade book. And unfortunately, this one was not my favorite. I know there are many people who loved this book. I am not one of them. Here's what I said. This was a fun, short middle grade, but it's not a new favorite for sure. I didn't really come to care about the main character or the cat or the ghost narrator. I did like the town secret and how that was discovered and then revealed, but overall, this one was just okay for me. I do know many others loved it, and I can see why, but it didn't work as well for me. Ultimately forgettable and not one that I'll keep on my shelves. Not the greatest review. Pretty short. Didn't give too many details, but that's okay. 3 stars for this one. And I already did put that on Goodreads. Not going to purchase it, but I would recommend it because I know a lot of people did really like it. Yeah, it's a middle grade about a little free library, and the boy brings home 2 books that had been checked out by his dad when he was a kid, and his dad had passed away. There's a little bit of dealing with grief in there, which usually is a hit for me, but for this one, it did not work as well. All right, submit opinions. Should we go check? Let's see. Profile 41. I must have been very close to 40 when I was only up to 39 before, but I'm so excited. My feedback ratio is above 40. That's so exciting to see. 41%. It hasn't been above 40 in a really long time. And NAP just started, and I'm kind of on a roll. I haven't started another book since finishing Nothing Else But Miracles. Obviously, I'm still here at work. And I feel like I might want to write just a few more reviews. So I'm just going to go through my list on Netgalley and see what jumps out to me. First, I'm going to go check August and see if there were any other ones that I've read that I can write reviews for. So I'll be back with hopefully 2 or 3 more, and then we will wrap things up. All right, I'm hopping on just a few minutes later because I did find 2 of my Netgalley books that I had already written reviews for on Goodreads. So I just copied the Goodreads review into Netgalley. And then I also just wrote one other of a book that I read just a couple months ago. So it was a little more fresh on my mind. So first off, we have The Light Pirate by Lily Brooks Dalton. I think I read this in January, I want to say. It wasn't my favorite. I did give it 3 stars. Climate fiction, my review is very short, but it's okay with me. Climate fiction, survival story. Florida is disappearing. Interesting read, but not a fave. Didn't need the tiny bit of romance at the end. No, I did not. But was nice to see Wanda having love after she had lost so many. So it was a very interesting survival story, but not a new favorite for sure. It was strange. But that one got 3 stars, and I did write the review or share the review from Goodreads, so that is done. And then the other one that I had already had a review for was The Circus Train, historical fiction by Amina Parikh. And this one I've said 4.5. I really enjoyed this one. I did think there was a section that felt a little slow, but I loved the story of Theo, Alexander, and Lena. I did think the bit of childhood romance between Alexander and Lena was too much for their age early on in the story. I think she was 12. And I know times were different back then, but it felt a little much, that bit of a romance part there. Loved the circus setting for a big part of it and appreciated that polio was a part of the story. Loved Lena's love of education and drive to learn more and more that lasted throughout the book. I did love that part. So that's another one that was already written. That was a 4.5 star for me. I just put it 4 on here. So I'm going to submit that one. Yay. And then the review that I just wrote now is for Some Like It Scott by Pepper Basham. I really enjoyed this rom-com. Christian fiction author. There wasn't a ton of faith content in here, but I really enjoyed the story. Here's what I wrote about it. It's rare to find a tall, curvy girl as the main character in a rom-com. This one had it and did it so well. I love this fun story set in Scotland where we follow travel writer Katie on her misadventures. I loved the main male character as well with all of his gruff. These two both are dealing with the grief of losing a sibling and have quite a few comedic moments that almost felt a bit like slapstick comedy. I laughed, I teared up. I appreciated the heart that was here in the story. I also really appreciate when a rom-com has such good banter that you can feel the chemistry without taking things to the bedroom. Fun times all around in this sweet rom-com. 4 stars. Really liked that one. So I'm going to submit that review. Knocking things out today. Where is my percentage? I'm going to guess 42. I think it's just going to go up 1. I'll be thrilled if it's at 43, but I think it's going to be 42. 42. I was right. But not bad. I started the day at 38 and now I'm at 42. And I got 9 more reviews completed. I love that for me. I should go through and see how many I have left. Maybe I'll include that in my October Netgalley vlog to see how many books I have read already that still need reviews. But I'm working on it. It's getting there. And I should probably say, for those of you who are like, what on earth is Netgalley? What are you even talking about? Netgalley is a website where you can request early copies of books to review. And they're e-galleys. They're ebooks, so most of them are on my Kindle. But the problem is I've been requesting books for years and haven't been writing all the reviews or even reading some of them. So I have many. I go back to, I think 2020 is my oldest. I have 1 from 2020. And so I'm reading books that are currently out in print. And so ideally, the goal is to get to the point where I'm actually reading the books a little bit ahead of when they come out so I can let you know what I think of them, but I am not quite there yet. I'm getting there. So I think that's going to be it for me today. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you for being here. As always, I would love to chat with you down in the comments. Did you agree with me about any of these 9 books that I talked about today? If you have Netgalley, how are you doing on writing your reviews and keeping up with things, or are you not? I'm with you on both cases. So for a long time, I was not keeping up at all, but I'm working on it. The goal is to get above 50 by the end of the year. I think I can do it. I think I can do it. If you made it all the way this far, but you don't have anything to add in the comments, go ahead and do that paper and pen emoji, or just a pen or just paper, something along those lines, because I'm writing reviews, knocking them out. And that's going to be it for me today. I'll be chatting with you in another video very soon. Bye.